Gorgeous live picture of downtown Cleveland. You can see Terminal Tower all lit up in many colors on this Martin Luther King Jr. Day, a day to celebrate the life and legacy of Dr. King. One of my favorite quotes, "I have decided to stick with love. Hate is too great a burden to bear." Love wins again. Welcome back. Are you looking for a way to stay connected without losing your sense of fashion? Look no further than a new company called Nova. A new pair of high-tech earrings are now hitting the market. You can see in here the startup company is making these clip-on pearl earrings that double as ultra-discreet earbuds. Nova says the technology adds a layer of sound to your environment while wearing them. You can still hear what's going on around you while listening to the audio coming from the earbuds. The earrings have 3.5 hours of music playback plus built-in microphones, allowing for 2.5 hours of talking time even. Right now, they're only available in Europe with a price tag of roughly $750. So you know if it's going to sell there, it's going to be coming here in no time. That's our time at 5. Fox 8 News at 6 with Tracy and Lou coming up next.
Gabe, thank you. Now at 6, a community continues to call for justice after a police-involved shooting. See how the family of Jalen Walker honored Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. while also sending a positive message.
Fox 8 I-Team is looking into the potential warning signs after a shooting that left multiple people dead over the weekend. What we now know about the suspect's past.
And a good sign for motorists feeling the pain at the pump. What experts are saying about the future of gas prices across the U.S. Fox 8 News at 6 starts right now.
Northeast Ohio's #1 choice for news. Cleveland's own Fox 8 News starts now.
Good evening, everybody. Martin Luther King Jr. Day is the only national holiday that our country also designates as a National Day of Service.
In one community, organizers brought teens together to show what that looks like and to have a difficult conversation about unity. Here's Fox 8's Dave Nethers.
That's okay. They have no idea what they're doing either. They're going to be working.
Akron's Lawton Street Community Center Monday. Teens file in to make a difference.
We selected sites that provide community support, and we wanted to give back to those community organizations. Yeah, you're going to need to roll up your sleeve.
We're proud to be here, and we're looking to do more in the community.
Hey, go get us! Hey, what? Who can stop you?
We could all take this as a day off, but it's supposed to be about a day of service. So we need to start bagging. We have football players who are mopping. We have moms who are vacuuming. We're all here just trying to do our part.
The NAACP and other organizations using Martin Luther King Jr. Day as a youth day of service.
Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., one famous quote that he said is, everyone can't be famous, but everyone can be great because everyone can serve.
I have an after-school program here, so I'm constantly cleaning up after kids, wiping tables down, making sure the bathrooms are clean and stocked.
Pulling double duty.
Yes.
You know, they look at it as a day off, but we look at it like, hey, man, this is a service day for our community, for our families, and we want to keep building off of that.
You know, helping the community out, helping people on Martin Luther King Day.
It's not that bad.
It's not that bad, actually.
It feels good. Like, not a lot of people give back to the community. You know, there's a lot of violence going on. They don't really care about the community anymore.
Glad to be out here today.
As well, to merge the day of service with conversation about unity in the aftermath of the June death of Jalen Walker, who was shot and killed while running from police officers in June.
It's going to be interesting. And so what we want to do is keep instilling hope, because we know that if we can't have the hope, we're not going to be able to move forward as a city. I believe in the folks that are sitting around this room, and I believe in this community.
In Akron, Dave Nethers, Fox 8 News.
Dave, thank you so much. The effort repeated itself at 2 other Akron locations and followed a 4-day weekend of related activities and events.
Local pastors gathered to celebrate the life and legacy of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. They were joined by Congresswoman Shontel Brown, who tells Fox 8's Maya Belay still a lot more work to do to realize Dr. King's dream.
Segregation in public transportation will pass away.
The voice of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. echoed throughout Mount Sinai Church in Cleveland for the first in-person celebration of the MLK Day of Emancipation in years.
We're trying to humanize him instead of just placing him into a historic kind of atmosphere where we let people know that King was more than just a civil rights activist, a dreamer. He was a person who sacrificed and gave his life for the betterment of humanity of all colors.
United Pastors in Mission held the event featuring the theme of unity with the Hispanic community, along with members of the Community of Faith Collaborative, a Latino faith-based network.
No one compares to you.
Among the respected guests present, Representative Shontel Brown, who says there's still more work to do to realize the vision of Dr. King.
What he fought for, we are still fighting for many of those things today, despite the tremendous strides we have been able to make, continuing to fight against racism, continuing to fight against poverty, and as a representative of one of the poorest big cities in the country, to carry out his message of the fight against poverty and continuing to come together under the spirit of unity.
Pastors say the public cannot be complacent. They must remain vigilant in order to advance and preserve the legacy of Dr. King.
I think we are getting closer to the vision. However, we're also getting closer to much division in this country.
It's a reminder that this struggle affects all of us, and it's going to take a commitment from all of us to continue to safeguard the vision and the legacy of Dr. Martin Luther King.
It is an honor and a privilege to be able to represent those who may not have a seat at the table in the halls of Congress, to make sure that we are getting more than our fair share. And I hope that that is making Dr. Martin Luther King and his legacy proud.
In Cleveland, Maya Belai, Fox 8 News.
Pastors say it's important not to gloss over the civil rights movement and acknowledge the struggle and sacrifice Dr. King and so many others provided to move America forward.
The Cleveland branch of the NAACP swearing in some new leaders on Martin Luther King Day. 16 members of the executive committee and committee chairs took their oath of office today, among them President Kayla Griffin and 3 vice presidents, Pamela Mason, Jasmine Long, and William Tarter Jr. All of the officers were elected last month, but officially took office today during a ceremony at the Fair Hill Partners building on Fair Hill Road. New President Kayla Griffin says the officers reflect different generations.
I was told by Danita Howard that I'm the youngest president to serve here with the Cleveland NAACP, and I think it's really important that we continue to build and bridge communities and generations. So you will see from our board that we have some older folks, people who are been here for some years now, and then some newer folks who are coming in and eager and engaged.
The Cleveland NAACP officers are elected every 2 years. The life and legacy of Dr. King also honored today in Elyria. The city's MLK Commission invited people to participate in a commemorative march, which started at City Hall and made its way to the Elyria Performing Arts Center. The march was followed a short presentation and kicked off the city's comprehensive plan, Our Elyria. People were able to talk about various topics related to the city of Elyria and Dr. King's legacy.
And Dr. King, of course, inspired countless people with his words. Now some local students are hoping to use their words to further their education. 33rd Annual Martin Luther King Jr. Essay Award program took place today. Eastview United Church of Christ welcomed 9 Greater Cleveland area students to present their winning essays for the topic, if you could choose to be a superpower, what would it be and how would you use it to make peace in the world? More than $1,500 in scholarships were awarded to the students who are viewed as the next generation of change makers.
We catch them at a very good age, and we encourage them, we engage with them to start thinking critically of how they can become and evolve into change agents and advocate for humanity.
Important mission there. The group also collectively sang "We Shall Overcome" and shared a late breakfast with each other, but this wasn't the only student-driven celebration of Dr. King. The Cleveland Orchestra Youth Chorus performed a free concert honoring MLK at Severance Hall. This is a continued celebration from Sunday night, where the Cleveland Orchestra also performed in honor of Dr. King. The director says music played a key role in the civil rights movement, something they hope to highlight with the performance.
He, encouraged singing as part of the movement, as part of the marches. So for us to be a continuation of that tradition is a great honor.
Nearly 36 students performed the 25-minute concert. The students have been practicing for 3 hours a week since way back in September.
The Fox 8 Eye team now digging into the story behind a mass shooting that left 4 people dead and a child critically hurt. And we are asking what can be done to prevent this. That deadly shooting rampage happened Friday night on Cleveland's west side. I-Team reporters Peggy Gallick and Ed Gallick take you inside the investigation. And Ed joins us live now. Ed?
Well, take a look at this. We found the suspected killer has a record for trouble involving guns. So we asked, did anyone see this coming, and what now?
He approached our vehicle and said that he just did something bad.
There was no signs whatsoever.
He said that he killed 5 people.
The I-Team investigating warning signs.
Cleveland police say Martin Muniz went on a shooting rampage in this home, leaving 4 members of his family dead, including a sister. An 8-year-old child left fighting to survive.
Now, the I-Team has found Muniz has a violent past, but his sister's best friend tells us no one predicted this.
She knew of family tensions over Muniz needing a job, but nothing pointing to this.
All the victims that are in the house were shot.
It's not easy ever confronting a brother, trying to tell him to, get a job or anything like that. That's the only thing, but there was never any warning signs.
But look at what the I-Team found in court records.
Muniz convicted in New Jersey for attempted aggravated assault with a deadly weapon, sent to prison for 4 years.
Records show he then violated parole with weapons violations. Also got arrested in New Jersey, suspected of having a loaded gun and drugs in a school zone.
It's her brother. She's forgiving. She wants them to do better.
Cleveland police are still investigating and building this case, and the I-Team has learned that detectives are now trying to determine if Muniz was involved in any unsolved cases.
Here at the Justice Center, the first court complaint filed in this case shows Muniz shot the victims in different rooms of the house, but this only the beginning for charges. Expect many more charges once the investigation is finished and the case goes to a grand jury.
It's like a piece of your soul has been taken away. A senseless loss of life.
We asked Councilman Joe Jones and Mike Polensek what can be done. They want more help for people who need it and more work to keep guns out of the hands of convicts.
There's so many guns on the street that you can get them for pennies and nickels now. You can get high-powered guns.
There are growing mental health issues in our communities. We have to figure out how to put through initiatives and programs to identify those individuals who are under mental stress.
As investigators build their case, Gloria Hernandez looks back. How did her best friend end up murdered in a mass shooting? A loved one locked up.
She just celebrated his birthday with him. He celebrated her birthday with her. There was no signs whatsoever.
Well, the suspect goes to court for the first time on this case in the morning, likely a quick hearing, mainly a chance for a judge to set bond, though after this, don't expect this man to be able to get out of jail.
Boy, this is it's so tragic in so many ways, and it seems like everyone is looking for solutions to this, and those solutions are very difficult to find.
When we started talking to the councilman, the conversation quickly turned to what needs to be done at the national level, what needs to be done at the state level, what needs to be done at the city level. No one-sentence solution.
Difficult. All right, Ed, thank you for the update there. Well, one person is dead after an overnight shooting in Cleveland. It happened in the parking lot of a Sunoco gas station at East 130th and Buckeye Road right around 5 o'clock this morning. Police say the victim was a 38-year-old man, but have not released any more information about how it happened. No suspects have been arrested. And a grand jury hands down indictments against a woman accused of stabbing her parents. 34-year-old Emily Deese faces a list of charges, including felonious assault and attempted murder. Last month, police were called to a home in North Ridgeville where they found Deese's mother and father had been stabbed multiple times. Both have recovered. Deese refused to answer questions at her first hearing last month. No trial date has been set.
Bedford police confirm a 92-year-old woman was found dead outside Woodside Village Nursing Home on Rockside Road. Nurses told police they last checked on the resident around 12:30 Saturday morning. They believe she got out of the memory care unit somehow without triggering the door alarm. She was found dead about 6 hours later. According to the police report, they think she fell on the ice. Child suffers burn injuries in a fire in Brunswick Hills. It broke out early yesterday morning on Substation Road. When crews arrived, they say flames are shooting from the roof. The family was able to escape, but the child had to be treated at a hospital. Several of the family's pets were killed in that fire. Investigators say it appears the fire was sparked by a space heater that was too close to flammable materials.
North Olmsted police say they are looking for multiple suspects who stole 5 luxury brand cars from a dealership this past weekend. The incident took place on Lorraine Road, and one of the 5 vehicles taken belonged to Browns QB Deshaun Watson. Fox 8's Brad Hamilton joins us now with the latest. What's going on, Brad?
Well, Tracy and Lou, police are telling us that they're looking for at least 5 people who took off for these expensive cars, and what has become just really an ongoing issue here in Northeast Ohio.
At the end of the day, this is what they're doing is dangerous, and somebody's going to get killed eventually over it.
5 expensive cars snatched away in the middle of the night. Just the latest in a string of dealership thefts that is spreading quickly, according to Sergeant Matthew Beck.
Because they have no regard for anybody else's safety, so they're driving recklessly down the highway through red lights, trying to bait the police into doing vehicle pursuits.
North Olmsted police say that around 1 a.m. Saturday morning, at least 5 people broke into a Mercedes-Benz dealership on Lorraine Road and took off with the vehicles. One of the 5 belonged to Browns quarterback Deshaun Watson.
Surveillance from the dealership does show 5 individuals, and yes, the 5 vehicles were stolen. So at this point, we don't believe any more than that were involved.
This latest crime continues a trend the past few weeks in Northeast Ohio. In Akron, 3 luxury cars were stolen at a Mercedes-Benz dealership. In Chardon, 3 high-end vehicles were taken from the Junction Auto family dealership. And in Strongsville, 7 luxury cars were stolen from a Fiat and Alfa Romeo dealership.
It's becoming a pandemic almost, if you want to call it that, with auto thefts.
So far, 3 of the 5 vehicles have been recovered, which includes Watson's Ram truck. It's estimated that that vehicle is worth around $110,000. The other 4 worth at least $50,000 each.
A lot of this is juveniles doing this, and the juvenile justice system in this county needs to stiffen their penalties for these juveniles. They're getting slaps on the wrist, and unfortunately they know that.
Sergeant Beck hopes whoever is caught in this latest theft is held responsible, because these crimes are not just draining to the public, they're taking a toll on local police departments as well.
It is draining a lot of manpower from everybody in law enforcement, from patrol on up to detectives.
Now, we did reach out to the dealership impacted, but they were not willing to comment at this time.
Yeah, you know, and Sergeant Beck is absolutely right there. This is a dangerous trend, and it puts so many people at risk.
Tracy, we were even talking in the newsroom about it tonight, and you know, it's something that really none of us can believe. I mean, you're hearing it now week after week, and obviously everyone's concerned that this is just going to continue.
Well, hopefully it stops soon. All right, Brad, thank you so much.
All right, here's a live look outside. The falls are flowing nice and smoothly like we like to see them tonight. You can always tell when you have a very nice day after a stretch of not so nice days when you move into the car wash. And I went there today. It's like 20 cars in the car wash. Normally when I see that, I pull right out because I'm not waiting. But today I decided to hang around. So the car washes did land office business today.
I pulled in one of the businesses right next to the car wash, and here it comes. I mean, the timing was perfect. Here comes this big white truck, all white. All of the mud is gone.
That's right. It's a good feeling.
Anyway. All right, so we're done right now with the snowfall, but we're not done with the precip because we're right on the edge, and you could tell something was going on because we had sunshine earlier. This was 6 hours ago. We'll now put this into motion, and you'll see the clouds thicking up right there, around 2-3 this afternoon. By about 4 o'clock, the sun was gone, and, well, we have no rainfall yet, but the high clouds that you saw, in fact, I had a text from a friend this morning with a beautiful photo of the beautiful sunrise, red sky at morning. You know the saying, red sky at morning, sailors take warning. There's actually science to that because the first signature of an incoming system, which is now showing up on radar, and I'll show that to you in just a second, is the high cloud cover that shows up around 5 miles above our heads. And so if it happens in the morning, usually it's an incoming system. But right now, they're enjoying some of the newfound snow that occurred over the weekend. This is Holiday Valley. It looks like somebody's doing some snow angels over there. What a deal. I mean, you're all caught on camera. All right, temperatures yesterday. Great for snowmaking, great for skiing. There wasn't much wind. And this morning woke up to low 20s near the airport, but a lot of places did manage to sneak just under 20. But then, as soon as the sun came out, a very, very quick shoot up at the temperature and a very, very slow drop off. Now, it'll drop off a little bit faster once the precip starts. I'll show you where that is in just a second. But it's just the initial, what we call evaporative cooling from the clouds that precipitate into the atmosphere below. Well, we're still seeing a lot of orange on this map. That indicates nice temperature increases. But here's the radar that I was talking about. This is the first wash of showers moving through. And it looks like the greatest risk is going to be tonight and very early tomorrow morning as this goes by. It has been raining off and on for a good chunk of western Ohio. You can see that things are starting to taper off here. More on the maps in motion here in just a second, but just ahead of that, it is warming up, and I don't use that term too loosely because these temperatures are warmer than normal. Anything above mid-30s right now, and most of them are in the low to mid-40s. A little cooler out here because of the rain, but it is still above freezing, so there's no snow involved. High today, 46. Now, check out the math here. Exactly 10 degrees above normal. But that doesn't mean the day was 10 degrees above normal. Why? Because the low was right at normal. So we have 0 departure for the low, 10-degree departure for the high, average them out, and you end up with a day total of about 5 degrees above normal. That's the way the math works. And it's, by the way, the first above normal day we've had since the weekend. All right, barometer is falling. Here's why. Area of low pressure. This is that first arm of showers coming through tonight. And then notice some breaks in the clouds, maybe periodically tomorrow. Let's hope for at least some decent breaks. But with this front coming through, a series of them, it will pull down some cooler, not super cold air, but cooler air as we work into Wednesday. Greatest risk for precip will be between now and about 2 or 3 o'clock, and then scattered showers only tapering off lightly tomorrow. Rising temperatures tonight will start around 37 as the rain begins and then bring that back up into the 40s by morning with the showers arriving. Maybe a pre-dawn shower and maybe a spotty shower anytime during the day, but hopefully we'll see some periods where the sky brightens up, a little bit of foolish clearing, but more importantly, a mild day of 51 degrees. Then we'll cool off to 44 on Wednesday, mostly cloudy. Another system and another warm, rainy day, 55, before we see a return back to normal, at least for Friday, Saturday, where we could see a few scattered snow showers in the air by the end of the work week. Right now, the weekend looks fairly quiet, but generally cloudy.
Very good, Andre. A local World War II hero, gone but not forgotten. Still to come on Fox 8 News at 6, we are sharing the life and legacy of a Tuskegee Airman who made a difference in our community.
Yeah, big difference right there. Plus, plenty of people visited the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame today. The chief curator gives us a tour and some of the most influential artists who changed the course of music forever. PJ.
The rivalry is back on for the Buckeyes as they say goodbye to their quarterback. All that and smoke them if you gotta. Next in sports.
Download the all-new Fox 8 app today and get breaking news, weather, and more, all on your smartphone or tablet. Powered by Mr. Hero, home of the Roman Burger. Download their new mobile app today to receive a BOGO offer and to start earning loyalty points.